Welcome to the program. I'm Linda Guto. Our sign language interpreter tonight is William Sila. Let's begin with a look at politics. Two people are fighting for their dear lives after being injured during a fight between supporters of Kakamega Governor Wycliffe Oparanya and those of Senator Boni Khalwale during the launch of presidential bid by CORD Principal Moses Wetangula in Kakamega. The violence broke out when a man hurled a tear gas canister at the podium where top CORD leaders, including Wetangula and Kalonzo Musyoka, were seated. The two leaders accused Oparanya of being behind the incident. CORD Principal Raila Odinga skipped the event.
Everything was all set for the much-hyped presidential launch by Bungoma Senator Moses Wetangula at the Muliro Gardens in Kakamega County, despite earlier disagreements over the venue of the event. Wetangula, who is one of the core principals in the CORD, was first bestowed the honor of being a Luya elder. However, all hell broke loose when Wetangula prepared to address the crowd that had come to witness the launch of his bid. A man hurled a tear gas canister at the main podium and another targeting the crowds, forcing everyone to scamper to safety. However, irate members of the public caught up with the suspect and beat him senselessly using all manner of crude weapons. Police were forced to use tear gas canisters to restore peace and order as the injured were rushed to hospital. Speaking later, the leaders condemned the incident.
And the time for Weta has come. And it is dangerous for you to stand in the way of an idea whose time has come and is now.
In this day and age, it is immoral, it is unacceptable to tear gas one Otiende, mzee wa miaka 99, kumweka tear gas Burudi na Mbwera ni kama kutoheshimu wazee wote Kenya hii.
The CORD leaders blamed Kakamega Governor Wycliffe Oparanya for the incident, claiming he was the one opposed to the launch of Wetangula's bid in the town.
We can be set up against each other. Wanaweza tumia wengine miongoni mwetu kutusambaratisha.
So internally, CORD is not an enemy unto one another. Our enemy is out there in the Jubilee coalition.
Musifadhaike. Musikubali hata kamwe kusambaratika kwa CORD kwa sababu tutakuwa tumesambaratisha nia.
In his speech, Wetangula said he will revive all the local industries that had collapsed as well as create job opportunities for the youth. He added that he will strive to improve the economy of the country if he wins the presidency.
My government will not be a government of man-eat-man society, in the words of the late Mwalimu Julius Nyerere. Rather, my government will be a government built on respect for the rule of law, and where all Kenyans, men and women, young and old, from every region of this nation will have an equal chance of not only making a decent living for themselves, but also thriving at it.
ODM party leader and CORD co-principal Raila Odinga skipped the event despite the public being informed that he was on his way to the venue. He is, however, said to be in Mwanza, Tanzania. And with that launch, Bungoma Senator Moses Wetangula is now ready to face his colleagues Kalonzo Musyoka and Raila Odinga to contest for the CORD presidential ticket. Chris Dairo, KTN News from Muliro Gardens, Kakamega County.
President Uhuru Kenyatta has dismissed as childish the heckling by a section of opposition MPs during his State of the Nation address on Thursday. The president said the opposition should engage the government in constructive criticism rather than heckling. Speaking when he attended a fundraiser at Lare in Nakuru County, the president said the MPs had demeaned the institution of parliament. Kenyatta, who was accompanied by several MPs from Nakuru County, said leaders must at all times behave in a mature and civilized manner.
Watoto wetu wakiendelea vizuri.
Sema upinzani ni mwema, hatuna shida na upinzani, kwa sababu lazima tuwe na upinzani, lakini iwe upinzani ambao tuapigana au tuapingana juu ya masuala ya sera, maendeleo. Sisi tutafanya namna gani na nyinyi mtafanya namna gani? Watu hapa dakika mwisho mwananchi ataamua. Lakini siasa ya kugawanya, ya matusi, hiyo wana yote hiyo wawache, tufanye hii ya kuleta watu pamoja.
You're watching Weekend Prime. Thank you so much for staying with us. So it's 1 year since the Garissa University attack that saw 148 students lose their lives. Hope is rife that such an attack will never ever be witnessed on Kenyan soil. And a lot of the victims are trying so hard to recover, to sort of move on. Allow me to bring in my colleague Sharon Mumanyi, who is live for us in Garissa. Sharon, if you can hear me, lots of activities today. Several leaders on the ground just trying to walk the walk with some of the victims and the family members and indeed the society. What happened today?
Yes, now exactly 1 year ago today, Linda, terror struck on these very grounds that we stand on right now at the Garissa University College, killing 148 people in its wake, 146 of whom were students and 2 were soldiers. Now, to commemorate this deadly attack, indeed it was the second deadliest attack in the country after the 1998 U.S. bombing, was a special memorial service that was held here at the institution earlier this day. An event that had numerous events and events just lined up to commemorate it. We had a marathon that was organized by civil societies and members of the local community here, just to spread the message of peace and peaceful coexistence, particularly amongst the various religions. Now, just to put together what happened today in this special event, I put a report together earlier on. Let's take a look at that. Today marks 1 year since the attack on Garissa University that saw 148 people killed at the hands of Al-Shabaab militants. The inaugural memorial marathon, set to draw support for the Garissa University College, brought together both local residents and well-wishers as well as other people from across the counties.
We are here to denounce terrorism, as we did before and as we continue to do, kwamba wagaidi, wajambazi ambao wamekuja kufanya hiyo amali ya ujambazi, tumesema kwamba you will not defeat, you will not win against our intentions to remain a civilized society.
It is this 5-kilometer race that kick-started the commemoration of the first anniversary of the atrocious attack at the Garissa University College on the 2nd of April 2015. An interdenominational prayer service would then follow at the institution's grounds, with Muslim leaders condemning the attack on this particular soil where Al-Shabaab militants shot dead students. The leaders emphasized the need for the country to stay united and ignore efforts by radical militants to divide the country on religious grounds. Officiating the ceremony was the Garissa County Governor Nadhif Jama and Garissa Township Member of Parliament Aden Duale. Duale said that President Uhuru Kenyatta will visit the university in 2 weeks' time, where he is expected to officially award the university with a charter.
But as a country, we stand together. We became one nation. And to echo the message of the President on Thursday at the state opening of Parliament, together we must protect the National Convent. The National Convent does not see you in the lens of a religion or a tribe or where you come from. We want to build a country where Christians and Muslims, as they live in many years, will live for many years to come.
The attack at the Garissa University College saw 142 students and 6 soldiers killed, the deadliest attack since the 1998 U.S. Embassy in Nairobi bombing that killed more than 200 people.
The only way we can shame the violent terrorism, the violent terrorist, Al-Shabaab, is to beautify and make this university to be a full-fledged university. For a wrong reason, this university has become famous in the world. And therefore we pledge to our government that it renovates, build more buildings, and tell all Kenyans from all corners to come and enroll themselves and shame Al-Shabaab.
At this university, a plaque engraved with the names of each of the people who died was unveiled during the anniversary ceremony. Sharon Momanyi, KTN News in Garissa County.
Clearly, a nation unbowed. Sharon Momanyi, thank you so much for that. In just a few minutes, we'll continue our coverage on that anniversary of the Garissa University College in Garissa and look at the strides that have been made. Remember, we'll be speaking to Ambassador Martin Kimani, Director of the National Counterterrorism Center, in just a few minutes. But away from that anniversary, the Standard Group has partnered with the Mama Sarah Foundation, Obama Foundation, to raise 50 million in the first phase of the construction of Early Childhood Development Center. In an event dubbed Zumbathon, hundreds of people gathered at Nairobi's Nyayo National Stadium today for a marathon dance that was meant to raise the funds. Zumba originates from South America. The event was also meant to create awareness about the Early Childhood Center and create space for contractors and other organizations willing to sponsor the construction to come on board.
To raise awareness and also to help us raise money for the first phase of the Early Childhood Development Center, which we've already started. And we're also asking Kenyans to come on board. We're going to be asking people for the weekend to come, lay a brick, do something.
The reason that Mama Sarah came to us was under our umbrella campaign called Transform Kenya Awards, which we are the pioneers of. And what we set out to do is identify individuals who have unique causes and are doing something to change the future of the communities that they live in. So Mama Sarah is obviously, you know, an icon in terms of doing that.
What you can see from here, apart from the idea of raising funds, people are actually enjoying, and as an exercise in the wild.